Well, this summer has been a wild ride in the garden between bugs trying to take over and me trying to fight back. But today I am sharing the pests that we battled and what actually worked to control them and how we still managed to harvest some great crops. It feels good to be back sharing with y'all, and I just want to say thank you for sticking with me. So let's get started. All right, and we are picking our first cucumber of the season. This is one of our Armenian cucumbers. I swear this guy just showed up overnight, but look at the size of this. My goodness. Let's go ahead and give that a trim. So no sooner did things really start taking off in the garden and producing, well, we got hit by aphids, and then shortly after, squash bugs, whiteflies, and pill bugs. Now you may have seen my video that showed how I was able to get rid of aphids in my garden and still get a great harvest of cucumbers. Well, I was determined to fight against these other pests as well. So here's what I did to combat these pests and get the most out of my garden this summer. And trust me, there was a lot of trial and error, but I am going to take you through each of the different methods that I used. The squash bugs are really bad because they destroy the plant tissue by sucking out the sap from the leaves and stems, which depletes all the nutrients from the plant. And then the feeding causes the leaves to wilt and dry out. These mainly attacked my zucchini plants this summer, but they also started in on my cucumber plants, and they can also be found on other squash, pumpkins, and melons as well. For the squash bugs, I used a dustbuster and some soapy water to help capture and remove the squash bugs, and then the soapy water kills them instantly. And this was best done, I found, in the early morning and evening times. There. So similar to the aphids, we also had whiteflies. And these pests damage plants by also sucking out the plant's sap, which then weakens the plant, causing yellowing or wilting leaves, stunted growth, and distorted fruit. They also excrete a sticky substance called honeydew, which then promotes the growth of black sooty mold, and it can transmit damaging viruses to the plant. So I used the same mixture of neem oil and Castile soap to get rid of them by spraying them about every 5 to 7 days for at least 3 applications. And I mainly focused on thoroughly coating the undersides of the leaves. Whiteflies can attack a wide variety of plants, and that includes most common house plants, but in the garden I found that they seem to really enjoy vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. I always thought pill bugs were just innocent little roly-polies, but then as it turns out, they can be really quite destructive and really mow down your seedlings or your ripe fruit overnight. And they are primarily attracted to moisture, damp conditions and decaying organic matter like rotting plants and leaves, which then they eat and use as a shelter. But unfortunately, I found out the hard way that they are also attracted to sweet-smelling carbohydrate sources, such as my beautiful cantaloupe. So I knew I had to get rid of these, and the first thing I did was try to protect my cantaloupes with a mesh netting, and then I tried to tie them up higher up on the trellis that I had them on to prevent these pests from being able to reach them. This method helped, but the most effective method was to place some snail and slug bait, which seemed to eradicate them pretty quickly. I think he either thinks I'm picking things or he wanted to see my dustbuster. Well, I do have some good news. Even with all these pests trying to take over my garden, we still pulled through with some beautiful harvests of cucumbers, such as these Armenian cucumbers. I know we're kind of at the end of the season here, but we also had watermelon, cantaloupe, and tons and tons of peppers.
a lot of melons, so no, just kidding. That's great.
You bring the coffees.
Okay.
And I'm happy to report that our strawberry bed is doing fantastic. So now we're starting to get some runners coming off of the ends of these. Our thyme is doing well here. And then this whole front side has really filled in. Our basket strawberries are still alive. Every time I come out here, it's just as if they've grown more and more. So I couldn't be more happy with this. So now that we're at the end of our summer season, we got our work cut out for us transitioning these garden beds. For instance, we got a lot of expiring plants such as the cucumbers, the melons, and then getting it all planted up for our fall, winter, spring season. So be sure to look for a video coming up here next on that. And we do still have many plants that are still doing good after this long summer, such as our peppers, our chives, and a lot of our other herbs. And I guess with every season, it's all about the challenges, but it's always worth it when you can overcome. And of course, when you get to enjoy those harvests. So next time I'm going to be showing you what's coming up next for our garden prep, some of the projects that we have coming up that I'm really excited about. And if you happen to fight some pests this summer, let me know in the comments below which one drove you the craziest. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye.